Okay, looks like I'm live. Hello, June Hanson. Hello, Mary Jane. And I lost my one mouse. There it is. Okay, we're going to do a sound check. Okie dokie. Oh, I don't want this. Okay. Hi, guess who, Nancy? And thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, it is my birthday today. And I'm glad we have some people coming in and wishing me happy birthday. Thank you so very much. It's muchly appreciated. I'm not going to be on too long today. I celebrated my birthday yesterday with my family here in Calgary, and I actually have
it's 2 o'clock.
Yes, thank you very much for reminding me it's 2 o'clock, but still haven't figured out how to get rid of that nice little lady telling me what time it is. Anyway, today, I don't have really much planned. I have been busy getting ready for my craft sale that's coming up. And, hi, Pam. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. And just remember, your names are going to be entered into the draw for the first prize. Like I said, I have kept a list of all the names who have commented on my live over the past, about a year. So all those names have been entered into a drawing that I am going to do on Wednesday. So the first prize is going to be a $50 gift certificate. Second prize will be a $25 gift certificate. It'll be to Amazon, or if you have someplace else that you want me to do it, I will arrange to do that. Thank you, Gladys. Oh, Mary Jane says, we sang happy birthday to you last night on Piecing It Real. Oh, thank you. Hi, Kathleen. You're not late. We're just starting here. So, yeah, so the $50 gift certificate and a $25 gift certificate. So I'll be drawing two names, and it'll be a random number picker that I have listed everybody's name in there. So after the live today, I'll take any new names that have come in and put them on the list, and then we'll do the drawing on Wednesday, 2 p.m. My time, which is, yes, Gladys is on in an hour, so don't forget to pop over there after you're done here. And it's anyone who has commented. Kathleen, yeah, it was like a choir of angels. Oh, I can imagine. Yes. Yes, I belong to a Piecing It Real group, and we meet every Friday and Sunday, and that's through the Yvette Renee. And we do Zooms, and it's a real good time. All such wonderful friends I've made over YouTube. So, with that being said, from now on, what I'm going to be doing is the names of people who comment on my live when I'm live will be entered into a list that I keep after every live. I go back and I check and I take a list of names. And those names, I give a number. And then that's how I'm going to do giveaways from going on now. So that I feel that the support that I get through my live videos and whoever comments in the live and everything, even if you just pop in and just say hi or whatever, you'll be entered into any future giveaways. And you don't have to be present. Whoever wins, I will announce it on my live. It will not be posted, so if anyone else contacts you besides me, don't answer to it or give any information. The only way is you will be notified by me, and I will ask for information after I do the drawing. I think that's about the safest way I can do it for now. With all this spamming and scamming and you name it. I don't want anybody to be in jeopardy for being hacked or whatever. So, what have I been working on? Well, I've been trying to catch up on all the things that I have to get ready for the craft sale. Today I was just playing around with some fabrics that I had, that I don't know what I was doing with them, but I had made a quilt. I think it was through, I can't remember. I think that might have been for Good Measure. I can't remember the name of the company, but I had made that when I first started back into sewing and everything. And so I got a bunch of scraps here, so I thought, well, I'll make them into they're small scraps, so I was making them into little FPP log cabins that measure, what do they measure? They measure 5 inches unfinished and 4.5 inches finished. Is it Yarny? Yarny McYarn. I'm sorry. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, a $50 and a $25 gift certificate, and shipping costs too much, so that's why I figure gift certificates are the best way to go. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate that. My birthday is today, but like I said, I did celebrate yesterday evening with my family here in Calgary, and we had my son-in-law cooks dinners on Sunday. So we had a wonderful roast beef dinner with mushrooms and peppers and you name it. So that's what I did yesterday, and then we had birthday cake, and they were nice enough only to put one candle on the birthday cake. So I think from now on, I think we should only, once you get to be a certain age, I think you should only put the number of candles on starting at 1. So when it gets to be 1, if you turn like 51, you only put 1 candle on. If it's 50, then you'd put 10, I think. And then you just go up from there. That way, no chance of burning the house down. At my age, I'd Mind you, if they put all the candles on, and if we did start a fire, just think of all the good-looking firemen would get, huh? And I think we talked about fires in the Piecing It Real group. And again, pop over to the Vet Renee and make sure that you check her out. Check out the Piecing It Real group, and we'd love to have all sorts of new people joining us. We have a lovely group. Linda Denton, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Oh, Mary Jane, she'll have 10 then on her next birthday. Oh, that's good. Perfect. Yeah, and then we start over again with 1, and then that way we don't have any accidents. So today what I'm going to show you is just besides the quilting and my passion for foundation paper piecing, I knit slippers, and so I'm just going to switch and go to a different camera view. Oh, Yarny McYarn is from New Brunswick. Well, welcome, another Canadian. It's great to have everybody from everywhere joining in. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera. And what I have right now on my desk is I knit slippers. And my biggest views on my channel are my slippers. Kathleen. Yeah, you're down for a false alarm for a little eye candy. Yeah. Anyway, I started out, my mom taught me how to knit, so I'm not the best knitter. And I have knit other things when I was younger, and knit sweaters, Cabbage Patch doll clothes I knit and everything. But my mom, when I was looking after my mom when she was diagnosed with a tumor on her kidney, she taught me how to make these slippers. And I guess they're called granny slippers, puff slippers, or whatever. And they, I have been making them, I don't even know how many pairs of these slippers I made, but every year in November, I go to a craft sale, and the money I make for from the craft sale, I give to my grandchildren. And Yarny says, love your slippers. That is how I discovered you. I don't quilt, but I love to see others quilt. Love to do many crafts. Yeah, I do way too many. But anyway, back to the slippers. So these are the slippers. I started out with these ones. My mom never made the checkerboard ones, but she taught me how to do these, and I've kind of hot, Kathleen. Anyway, I've tweaked them up a little bit, and so I made these ones, and then she never made these ones, but these are the checkerboard slippers, and I use just ordinary Super Saver yarn, and the biggest problem I have is with people asking me what size do I need for, say my foot is a size 5, and or my foot is a size 6. What do I need for an 8.5 shoe? And that's the hardest thing, is because tension and everything like that. And Greenland Quilter is here. Hi, Katie. Yes, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. That really helps me. And thank you, everyone, again, for the birthday wishes. So anyway, after I made the checkerboard ones, and again, sizing, like I said, is the hardest part for me to explain and everything. Because even you can see these ones, I believe they have the same amount of stitches on them, but it's just different yarns and things like that. But I usually stick with Super Saver. And, oh, Brenda! Yeah, Brenda Foley. Sorry, I almost missed you. Thank you. Yeah, and Tiffany and I, yes, we do have the same birthday. Yeah, we're not the same age though. So anyway, back to the slippers. I kind of get off track here. Oh yes, Yarny says we always called them Fentex slippers, but as we made them from the older version of that yarn, but I use acrylic yarn today to make them. Made 35 pairs last year for family and friends. Yes, some of the videos that I've watched, they'll use 2 strands, and they do turn out a little bit thicker. But and I use double pointed needles because I normally knit in my chair, and if I use the regular needles, then my needles get caught on the arms. So that's why I've gone to the double pointed needles. And then I use point protectors on there so that the stitches don't come off the end. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I'll do maybe 1 video a week doing slippers. So then I saw somebody on, I think it was on Pinterest. Thanks for sharing the channels, Gladys. I really appreciate that. Gladys is my moderator. So then I came up with the, I think these ones I call my sock monkey slippers. But then, of course, once I got making those, and like last year I sold so many slippers, and I think I was slippered out by the time I was done. And so these ones here, these ones are the largest size I make. But these ones are like the winter socks. And then, of course, you make them into, use different colors to use up your yarn and everything. And you make them into, I think these ones, the color doesn't really show, but these ones I think are Green Bay Packard ones that I was making for a friend. And the only thing I have to do on these is maybe just put a little black stitching to separate the white and everything, and then it'll look more like the Green Bay Packers. I've made them for Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Oh, Kathleen says she has a crochet slipper she needs a pattern for. Yeah, most of the things I find are on Pinterest. But like I said, my mom taught me how to make these. My first pair was not very impressive. But I like them because after I have a bath, I can pop on a pair of these slippers, and they're so comfy. The Fentex was hard on your feet, and that's why I've switched to the Super Saver yarn. And I have made some using double strands, and I buy the biggest ball of yarn that I can, and then I put it onto a one of those yarn winders, and then I have this, and you're working with 2 colors. So I have one on here to roll off, and then I have the other one here. And this is the one I'm working on right now. It's hard to see the color on this one, but I'm going to be working on colors that you can see what I'm doing. But they're just straight knitting. That's all they are. Pardon me. Remember, anybody, pardon me, anybody lurking in the background, just pop in and say hi, and you'll be entered into the draw, or the giveaway. Pardon me. So that's my slippers. So I don't want to go over here, over my time here, because I know Gladys is coming on. So the next thing was I have made a churn dash, and this, like, I think I have put my pattern on underneath the video. You can find it for a churn dash FPP. And I did it in three sections. And the fabrics that I've used here are just a plain white, and then these were I think I did show this in the one video, but Ellen Campbell gave me an idea because I used templates in my FPP. She had used scraps, and so what I did was I had, where did I put them now? I had been making these, and these ones are 5 inches, but I only, what I did was I took my templates and I placed them on here. These were already done, and so now this one is a scrappy one. And I'd had these sitting in there. This is something I was just trying out. Hi, Lorraine Young. Oh, it's great to see so many here wishing me happy birthday. So, Terry. Yeah, my daughter, Terry says, love the slippers, love these fabrics, and happy anniversary on the day of your birth. Yes, actually, my daughter, the one that lives in Saskatchewan and Regina, she calls it Escape from the Womb Day. So I guess that's what I'm celebrating. I escaped from the womb. But anyway, that's how this one came about. And I had done the Carol DOAK FPP, and she it was the snowflake one that I made the table runner. I've taken it out right now and put it in my pile that I have to get it ready to go to the craft sale. And yeah, Terry says she'll have to remember that escape from the womb. Yep. Pardon me. So anyway, and on my FPPs, I press my seams open, and someone, I think, I'm not sure who it was, someone made one, and they had no problems putting together the sections. Where they had problems was putting the template that you have for row B or whatever it is, and then you put the two together. They had problems with lining things up, and this isn't the best one because to show you on, but yeah, Gladys comes on after me. So anyway, what I wanted to show you is that when I match up my sections, these have been trimmed from the row that this is all one row. There's no half square triangles and everything. It is a template that I made, and that's sort of what my templates look like. And then I have fabric templates. So I know a lot of people have trouble matching their seams, and I'm very slow, and my eyesight isn't getting any better. Denise, hi. Thank you, and thank you for the wonderful flowers. So anyway, what I wanted to show, and I have showed it in other videos, but how do I get my seams lined up so that they match perfectly? And I've taken the papers off of these, and the thing that I have found is this A goes to B and C goes to B. So what I do, I'm going to start from the bottom up because that's the way I have them there. And I just made my own little, these are my own little alphabetties that I make. I'm just printed them out onto freezer paper, and then I can, of course, everybody knows I'm a freezer paper freak. But I have just pressed those on so I know which is A and B and whatever. So what I do is, and you might not be able to see it, but I might be able to zoom in a bit. The places I need to match, there's no real matching right here, but right here is where I want to get them to match. So I'm just going to flip this over, and I've got B underneath and C on top. So this is where my seams have to match up. So on this underneath part, when I first started matching seams and everything, I did not pay particular attention to matching my seams at the quarter inch. I would line them up like this and everything and put a pin in and everything, and they really never lined up as great as I wanted, because as soon as I put a pin in, it twists or it shifts the fabric. So that's why now I've gone to the Acorn here. This is the glue I use, and it's a Canadian product, and it's the precision piecing product. It's called Seam Align Gentle Hold Glue, and it's washable, great for quilting and everything because it washes out. It's great for matching plaids and everything like that. And I have used it to match plaids that I was short on one square that I needed to cut of I think it was a buffalo plaid. And so I used that to piece the two pieces together, and you cannot tell where those seams are. And then I just put it into this little container here. If you buy the Seam Align glue, it might come with one of these, but this one I put into another little bottle. So that's what I use, and I use it constantly. So now back to this section here, we'll just go over that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where my seams need to match. And so it's here and here. So I am going to take, you can use a ruler or whatever, but I have a little bit of gridded plastic that's in 1/4 inch marks. And I think I got it at Michael's or Staples. Now, hopefully I'm not missing any chat here. And I will be going over to Gladys's. I'm a lurker, so I will be going over to Gladys's after too. So Okay, so now what I need to know is the 1/4 inch. So that's a 1/4 inch. And I could use a ruler, but I found that this, I can use a pencil or whatever to, and I use the precision piecing, the friction pen to mark. So I need to know where my 1/4 inch is. So I'm just going to go up from that line, and I've got the cut edge lined up on one of those lines, and I'm just going to put a little mark right there and a mark right there. The other ones on this one, I don't need to put any markings there. The only markings I need are right here. And of course, I just need to turn my iron on here for a second. The problem I had was, okay, I have black and white. Oh, it is on. Perfect. So anyway, I have black and white, but it's like, okay, where is my 1/4 inch seam, and how can I mark that so I know to line up my points at the 1/4 inch? So guess what? I am going to lay this down, put my little guide on there. Now, here I can't see where my 1/4 inch is, and here. So it's like, well, how do I make sure that I'm getting it right in at that 1/4 inch? You can do one of a couple of things. I'm using a, I've got to get a couple of pins here. I am using really small heat-resistant pins, and they're very, very fine. Yes, say hi to Nikolai for us. Okay, so now I could just take this and with my pin mark that 1/4 inch right there. And the thing is, I want my pin to come through on the other side right at that seam line. And I've pressed my seams open. You could have pressed them to one side, and then you would do that nesting that everybody does. So I now have a mark right at the 1/4 inch. And that's where I want my seams to line up. So again, I'll take my other pin, got extra pin here, and I'll just take this and mark it. And I have a little piece of just I made my own wool mats, wool pressing mats, and I had some left over, so I made myself a little, I call it a pin pad, that I can poke my pin in straight down. So I'm going to mark that with my pin, and I'm going to check, even though it looks right on this side, I lift it up and leave those pins in, and I want to make sure it comes right out at that point. And then we're going to use the glue. And the glue, I am going to put a little drop of glue, and you just need a drop, and I'm putting it right on that 1/4 inch mark. And you can do the same thing if you've pressed your seams one way or the other. I'm going to take my other piece, and I'm going to put that in. I'm going to work this way so you might be able to see. I'm just going to put the tip of my pin right on that 1/4 inch mark that I've marked there, and then I'm going to lift it up and put my pin straight down and push my seams together, and they should line up perfectly right here. And if they don't, you'll still be able to mark, if you've got a triangle or something like that, you'll still be able to get one of them will be shorter or whatever, but you'll still have your seam at 1/4 of an inch. And then again with this one, I'm going to, again, gently place my pin on there, and then in a straight up and down. And then because these are heat resistant pins, I can just take my iron without melting my plastic, and I'm just going to press right up against the side of that pin. Kind of hard for you to see there. And then I'm going to do it over here. And once I've set that glue, I can now take my pin out and just press just to make the glue adhere. So now that is together. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for coming. And thank you for the birthday wishes. I was watching you earlier, but I was busy doing other things and I didn't chat. So now those 2 points are matched up, and I should be able to have them come out perfectly. I've got 2 loose ends here, and so I'm going to put a drop of glue on this end. And the reason I do that is because that glue, my my rows I have cut to the size that I'm the right size, and this I think it's a 9.5 inch block. I could read on my pattern. It is a 9 inch finished, 9.5 inch unfinished. So again, at this end, I'm going to put a drop of glue, and I'm going to match my cut edges, and that glue is just going to hold together, and it gives a little bit of stability when I have to start stitching with my 1/4 inch seam. And where's my iron? Here we go. And I'm going to stitch this seam, and we'll see how good I can get at matching my cut edges, because if I don't use the glue and I try to pin it, I always seem to have one edge that's longer than the other. Now, I lined up my seams, and I know I have to stitch with 1/4 of an inch. And the thing is, I need to, I can draw a line on this side. If I don't have a line to follow, or if I don't have a marker, what do? If I want to mark that, and there's nothing wrong with marking your seam allowance. You've gone to all the trouble of putting this thing together, and you want these to go together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here, and again, here comes freezer paper. And what I'm going to do is just take a scrap of freezer paper, and I am going to line that up. And we can use a ruler at this point. I think I need to, I'm going to do this one. And there is my 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to set my freezer paper right up against my ruler, and then very carefully just press the freezer paper down. And now that is going to give me my 1/4 inch seam if I can't draw a line. On this side, and again, with the freezer paper is not going to hurt anything. On this side, I could have marked a 1/4 inch line, But I'm not going to do that because this, again, I can't see. And I want to see when I come up to my match seams. I want to come up in a straight line. Before, what would happen is I'd match everything up, and then all of a sudden when I started to sew, I'd be coming up and all of a sudden, oh, I got to go over there. And that made it bubble. So the freezer paper, I'm just going to give it another press. My lines have now disappeared from my paper, that if I've marked any, or my fabric if I've marked any. So now my camera isn't set up for the sewing machine, I'm sorry, but I am going to just go and stitch just on the edge of that paper, and that's going to give me a nice straight 1/4 inch line rather than coming up in there and figuring, oh, I got to go this way or I got to go that way. So I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine and do a quick stitching. And then we'll see a back stitch. And just making sure that my seams underneath aren't folded over. I want them to be laying open. And now I'll show you the stitching. And whoops, my seam flipped, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to fold that like that, and it should be okay. So now I can fold this back without removing that paper. I can just fold it back and see if my seams line up. And I'll try, I have to test this out anyway. I'm going to try to zoom in here for you. So here we go, zooming in. I'm going to zoom in as close as I can. I haven't tried this yet, but... So I'll move this over. But there you can see that that seam matches perfectly. And over here, if I pull, because the glue may have gone over that seam, but where are we now? Let's see, it's right here. Where's my finger? There. So you can see where those seams line up perfectly. And also, now that I know that it's lined up, I'm just going to remove that freezer paper. And I can press my seams to one side, or I can press them open, whichever I want. Now, whoops, I guess we need to zoom back out. And hopefully you saw that. Okay, now, the other thing is, if you notice at the ends, my seams match up perfectly at the end and at the end. And when I measure that, I'll just use my, to do with it, here it is. Use my little 1/4 inch grid, and when I place it on the edge of the fabric, there is my, oh, get out of here. Anyway, you can see where right there is where my 1/4 inch is. And now on this side, I can check, and there is my 1/4 inch. And that's the magic with glue that I have found. Takes a little bit of extra time, but I would sooner take the time to glue and mark and press and everything than to have to rip out. Okay, so we've got about 15 minutes now before Gladys comes on. So does anybody have any questions? Did that make sense to everybody? Hopefully it did. If you have any questions, by all means ask me. Or if there's anything you would like me to show you of my weird ways of doing things and how I put things together so they come out they may not be perfect, but they sure look perfect. So, and I don't want anyone to miss Gladys's. And also on Tuesday evenings is Eric Oda from Treasure Heart Creations, and I love him. Oh, Dana, you've been lurking in the background. Yes, precision glue. Yes. And I also, one other thing I was going to say is when I'm done stitching it, I've got glue at the ends and at the seams that I needed to match. And when I'm pressing my seams open, and that's one thing that if your seams are pressed open properly, then everything fits together better. So I'm just using a point turner, and I'm just going to go in between. And I have shown this in other videos, but I'm just going to go in between and just release that glue so that I can press my seams open. I'll just do that quick. And this one, and then right at the very end, and that was that seam that folded over that I didn't press it open, or I didn't make sure that it was open when I stitched it. Am I going to worry about that? Oh, heavens, no. We cheat. And we just give it a little fold over and press it. Yes, Dana is in my other group, and she is in the Chatterbox Quilts group, the Quilter's Way. And those are the only two that I do subscribe to. So now the other thing is, I'll just give you a quick, I'm going to be using a, this is just a piece of dowel. And someone made this for me, and I've just covered it with a piece of flannel. Yes, Dana and I actually have met in person. My daughter lives in Regina, and Dana is from Regina. She used to live here in Calgary. She's a friend of Kim Jameson Hurst of Chatterbox Quilts. And I am originally from Saskatchewan, and Dana moved to Saskatchewan. She moved to Regina, and we see each other in the Quilter's Way group. So now I'm using my some people call them, yes, a strip stick, yes. Yeah, the reason I put flannel on this one is that this was just a piece of dowel from a store. Oh, here's my other one here. The wood that they use is this one is one that I didn't have to put the flannel on because it's so nice and smooth. This one is not the same wood as this one. And this one can take heat and everything. The ones that aren't wood, like the real wood type, I think it's a white oak or something. And you can press on this and use steam. The dowels, why I put flannel on is because if you hit it with steam, I'm going to use the pen. If you hit them with steam, it opens up the grain of the wood, and it causes the wood to be rough. And it's a little bit, it's really rough, and you can tell if you use, even if, like, I know that, I'm not sure whether poplar, but I know this one here is a clapper. And I've had these for years. And I'm not sure if poplar does it or not, but the type of wood, you have to be careful with the type of wood that you use. If you don't cover it, sometimes it opens up the grain of the wood and it will get rough. And I work with some knits, and some knits, if I used this one without the flannel on it, it snagged my knits and caused a little, what do you call it? Probably, I'm trying to think of the word. Balsam? I think it's white oak or something. Some of the woods will open up the grain. Anyway, it caused snags on my knits, and that's why I covered that one. And so there is the two pieces together. Perfect points, perfect on each edge, and I'm happy with that. And I'll have to find out what the wood is that they use for the clappers and that, because this one, there is absolutely no catching on it. And I do have one that someone, another type of a pressing tool, and it's not the same wood as these ones that you buy. And like this one is, it's got to be over 20 years old. I was a garment sewer before, and we used lots of funny things that are now coming back that people are using. And let's just check this and see if it comes out the right size. And it is a perfect 9.5 inch. Yeah, I know mahogany, I think it is. That's a wood, right? Yeah. Mahogany is one that it opens up the grain. I have another one here someplace, but maybe this is, no, that's not it. Anyway, I have all the tools. Okay, so it is time to say goodbye. It was great having you here to celebrate my birthday. I will be alone this evening, so I am going to have have leftovers from last night. My daughter always sends me home with a goodie bag. Whenever my children, when my husband and I would take our children to meet or go visit Grandma, they always got a goodie bag of cookies to take home. So now when I go to my daughter's place, she always sends me home with a goodie bag of leftovers. So, and again, thank you so much. And I will be, after I'm done here, I am scheduling the live for on Wednesday, and I will be having a wonderful glass of wine and birthday supper leftovers. And on Wednesday, we'll be announcing, hi Lori, we'll be announcing the winners of the 2 giveaways. So I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thanks for keeping me company on my birthday. We will see you on Wednesday. Bye, everyone. Talk to you later. And now we look for the buttons.